Hello and welcome back. Once more today we are looking at Naked Brands. It's been a couple of days since we did last look at this stock, but in the meantime, Naked, well over the past 5 days specifically, has been falling once more. And this is quite interesting to see because if you do remember from the previous episode, we saw Naked hit these lows of about 48 cent, then start to climb up. We went as high up here as 74 cent before slamming back down, coming very similar to where we are right now, almost again even touching that 50 cent mark. So again, we are seeing quite a big decline over the past 6 months. We saw that initial rocket in price as people were really hyped about Naked stock, and obviously ever since it has been down, we did see a little bit of a pullback as I have mentioned, but this obviously is very small in comparison to the first increase that we have seen. Although if you had bought Naked stock back here when it was at like 7 cent if not less, you would have obviously made a large profit even where we are now, and if you'd have even bought it in January at a price of 19 cent, you would have still made around 186%. So we're talking about Naked and how it has been moving most recently, giving my personal thoughts and opinions. So if you do want to see a bit more of an in-depth look and analysis at this company, you can do that. We've done this on this channel before. Just type in Naked stock N2S Finance and there is about a 25-minute video on it, which I do recommend that you watch. I think it would be worth a little bit of your time. But tonight we are having a quick look at the company as I have mentioned, and obviously looking at the share price and reflecting on what has happened. So again, we are going to start off by looking at that in just a moment, but if you will enjoy, make sure to give this video a like. Obviously, as you already know, I am not a financial advisor, but I definitely would recommend giving this video a like, as it is completely free to watch, of course, and it just would be appreciated as we are trying to grow this channel to 100k. We get in there very slowly, but I can see it happening at some point in the very near future. Thank you for all the support so far. Let us now jump into the video looking at Naked Brands. So we're going to start off over here on Yahoo Finance. These are the more in-depth and in more detailed charts, because we can see how this chart basically reflects the downtrend for Naked and the subsequent volume that we have been seeing with Naked stock. Today we've seen a volume of around 29 million, 29.8 apparently. Yesterday, for some context, we saw a volume of about 60 million. The day before that, volume of about 99, and then before that we saw volume of 142. So we can see how things are moving generally speaking. As the stock does fall, there is less and less volume, so it does indicate that less people are buying and also less people are selling the stock, which is not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing, but the fact that less people are selling even when the price does go down, to me at least, is a little bit of a good indication for Naked and for the people behind Naked Brands and the people who do hold the stock. So yeah, Naked at the moment we're seeing quite low volume for today, and obviously the share price isn't moving very much because of that. If we look at the share price move from the start of the day up until right now, we can see that the share price has basically moved by nothing. It's down by about 1.1%, which is quite large for Naked, but obviously it's not the most significant. And before 9:30 we were down by a further 4.23%. we can see. Obviously we did actually close a little bit higher yesterday, so we've fallen a bit today, so that's what we are seeing. But generally speaking, for the majority of the day, this share price has been quite flat and hasn't moved neither up or down very much. Now from about 12 o'clock we are seeing a little bit of a pullback, coming up by a further 1.3% from the lows of the day. Obviously not very large in comparison to what we have seen previously, but it is still a little bit of a pullback for today. And actually this sell-off pattern has been going on for the longest time, but now it looks like it may be slowing down with a relatively flat day today. The question is Naked Brands about to go back up, and what do I personally think of this stock at the moment? Well, as I have mentioned before when we looked at the company in more detail, I think this company is more of a gamble. Does that mean it's a bad company? Not necessarily. I think this company does have potential. They are looking to turn themselves around, and we have seen Naked in the past obviously reach very high share prices in relation to what we are on right now. I think there is some potential that if this company does keep working in the correct manners and do intend to hit their targets of changing the business round, making it more online orientated, this could have a long-term effect on the business. Obviously, if they do not do this, and if the share price does not follow subsequently, I think this would be more of a gamble. I think either way this stock is quite risky, because we are just banking on the potential that they would actually turn this business around, and again it's not guaranteed that they could do that. There are many people who say that they can, there are many people who say that they can't. Personally, I think it's not impossible that this business could be turned around. We already know they have quite a strong follower base behind them when it comes to the shareholders, and people are quite optimistic and quite ambitious as to what the company can do. So honestly, I would not rule it off the table that this business could be turned around. There is some potential here, but I do think Naked is more of a risky stock. So would I buy it at the moment? I think it isn't the worst buy point, but personally I would wait for it to drop a little bit lower potentially. I would definitely wait to see what happens tomorrow, because there is some potential for me that this one could drop down to about 50 cent, maybe even a bit lower than that. But if tomorrow is back in the green, I think it definitely could be a little bit of a decent buy, but obviously it is quite risky. At 50 cent though, would it hurt to have a few naked shares in your portfolio? You tell me. Please do your own research and come to your own conclusions, but I am quite happy with the way that naked has been moving, both today and over the past 2 or 3 days. We've seen that big sell-off over the past week, but ultimately the share price now flattening out ever so slightly, and we have found a previous support down here in the 0.48 range. So you know what, who knows, maybe there is some potential that this one could pick itself back up and we could see more and more good things coming for Naked Brands. So thank you for watching this video, I'll see you soon, goodbye.